Greetings and welcome once again to another edition of Top 10 Worst of, the best of worst of lists as voted upon by the Top 10 Worst of Council of Lists. 3.5 years running. Not to brag, but the lists of top 10 worst of lists have proven themselves to be of the finest quality by any measure, by such a wide margin that it's practically laughable. I'm your host for this evening's journey into the unknown. My name is Jack Potts, and I'm so proud to be able to be here as your guide through the mysterious, soft, dark underbelly where others fear to tread of the facts and topics relegated to the pay no mind list by so many that it's really, it's enough to make one puke up their lunch. It's how bad society's been. Just, things that they don't want you to know about clearly have been asked to those who seek answers and topics of investigatorial aspects of investigations are frequently ostracized, marginalized, otherwise plucked from the general levels of distribution and ridiculed and looked down upon as unclean and tagged with terms that have become soiled with associations along the lines of madness, conspiracy theories, they call it. Well, I'm here to change all of that. They aren't conspiracy theories anyway. It's reality checks. The people who are insane are those that believe in the mainstream, not the ones who are looking for the real answers behind the facade that they've created, the fantasy land that they've immersed in, the fairy tale that they've scripted for us to live within so that we can never really see the truth beyond the forced perspective that they feed us like fattened geese that they're looking to harvest foie gras livers from. We are fattened foie gras geese. Anyway, today's top 10 list is just going to blow you away. There's been a lot of heavy lifting lists recently that have delved into just profoundly dank, sticky wickets, subjects that the modern day power apparatus is defined as taboo. Excuse me. So we're going to go a little easy on you, give you a little bit of lightweight fare, as it were. A quickie list, I believe, will be a quickie list. Top 10 worst hair band song titles. And I guess, judging by me, you can probably figure that I know a little bit of something about hair bands. What do you know? You don't know anything. Judge books by their cover, do you? Oh, dear. How fast can we get you canceled up? Judging things by their looks? That's one of the top disqualifiers for the human race. Now you're disqualified from the human race. And shame on you. No, you can stick around. I don't care. What do I care? Introduction. All right, so here we go. Where am I here? New Custom Cannibals is the juicer that allows you to customize your choice of human slurry for a delicious, refreshing drink. Our varietals are the best of any customized cannibal smoothie company. Choose an academic, a Park Avenue call girl, a gutter sniper, a retired athlete, and more. All told, there are over 65 different human varieties to choose from to make your cannibal smoothie. And now there are blends available featuring up to 3 different tastes, and even additional syrups can be added, such as vanilla and cherry. It's Custom Cannibals. Buy a can today. Also, it's pretty obvious that the end is nigh, but the end times doesn't have to taste bland. It's the spirit of adding tons of salt and a hint of mildly spicy flair to the rapture that we've created the 4 horsey sauces of the apocalypse. Buy some today, now available in your local grocer's freezer section. Since our overlords have decided to spend tens of millions of dollars just to rebrand the Department of Defense into the Department of War, let's name a few more. The Department of Injustice and the Center for Disease Expansion. What is... I mean, that's not a commercial, goddammit. I'm talking to my producers and my support staff to index my material a little bit more stringently. Coming up soon for right in time for the Hanukkah gift-giving season. It's Scissors Position Twister. Fun for the whole family. The Manson family. Am I right? And then finally, the book to turn on all your children to when you've got nothing better to do but to torture your own children, which, that's pretty much half of the parenting equation nowadays, isn't it? Grimm's Reverse Fairy Tales, where every single poor soul with the misfortune of being alive in these relentlessly bleak times is getting an unhappily ever after, rather than choosing to see what we're stuck in the darkness together and helping each other towards the light. We at Grimm's Reverse Fairy Tale have chosen to blame each other for the pain that was so clearly created by others who profit from our suffering. A fate we choose without even knowing what led us to this choice. I don't know what to say, what to do to help us free us from the clutches of the wretched fate, but I wish I did, I wish I could. Grimm's Reverse Fairy Tales, preparing you for the worst that life has to offer by making all of our stories have unhappy endings. Oh, here's a great one. I'm sorry, I got one more. Coming up to a motion picture indoctrination center near you. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Air. The sequel, finally, long-awaited sequel, has been 50 freaking years or so since 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now comes 20,000 Leagues Under the Air, a story about a land-based submarine. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Air, goddammit. All right, here we go. Top 10 worst. Finally, after 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes of introduction, is the actual list. God, no wonder nobody's watching this garbage. Top 10 worst hairband song titles. Number 10. From the Bullet Boys, high-minded fonts of philosophical geniuses, it's Smooth Up In Ya. Smooth Up. I used to know what Smooth Up In Ya. I've heard it before, I could tell, but without the effects of NZT unlocking all the synapses in my entire brains, I can't recall anything randomly which I have so little regard for retaining the memory of in my frontal cortexes. Number 9 of the top 10 worst hairband song titles, Lick It Up by Kiss. Lick it up. Lick it up. Right now. Kiss. I hate Kiss. And not because of the music, really. Because that they chose in their logo to have the Kiss logo with those crazy S's at the end of the word Kiss. That's the SS insignia for the Sturmstaffel, which is the Gestapo. So, hey, go ahead, Kiss. Co-opt the Gestapo logo for your own, sales number to push a little more product, you rotten son of a bitch Nazi jerk-offs. I'm praying that Kiss, the members of Kiss, are in the first wave when the AI robots come to, sluice them up. Sluice them up good. Number 8 of the top 10 worst hair band song titles. You know, this one's got to be on the list. Unskinny Bop by Poison. Not only is it sort of just kind of rude because Poison were such posers and the whole hairband thing was about, just all about what you look like. I mean, it says it in the title, hair bands. So in order to gain access into the genre, you have to have long hair. I mean, can you not have, the embodiment? Can you not represent the embodiment of the hairband ethos or mores and attitude without having the hair? I don't think so. Certainly not in those days. I remember those days. Not a big fan. But certainly I think that they've kind of limited the objective intellectual high-mindedness of their genre by relegating it to bands that feature members with very long hair as being the main qualification for entry into their little social club, if you will. Number 7 of the top 10 worst hairband song titles, Slave to the Grind by Skid Row. Here's a song by a band that, didn't these guys have, one of the underage, She's Only 17, wasn't that those guys? Or was that Winger? So of course, 17, she's 17. No, thank you. No, thank you, Skid Row. We will open up the doors to the permanently canceled section for sexual deviance or inspiring sexual deviance in those that listen to you that think you're like worth a damn, which clearly they've been misled on to begin with. Top 10 worst hairband song titles. Number 6, Kiss Me Deadly by Lita Ford. Now, I remember, it's been a long time, admittedly, but I do remember kissing someone from back in the 90s. And I don't remember deadly kisses being one of the selling points of making out. I mean, it's almost like, what are we really talking about? Somebody like with aggressive herpes? Is that the Kiss Me Deadly? Like all of a sudden now you've got, you're making out with somebody that things are getting nice and hot and warm and comfy and whatever. And then, you pull out there for a second to catch your breath. Maybe have a little swig of Boone's Farm. And they go, congratulations, you now have got herpes. And you're like, oh, damn, you kissed me deadly. And that's how it caught on. Lita Ford's like, one of the people who's making out. And she's like, kiss me deadly. Ooh, that could be something I can exploit for, to shift a lot of units. Ironically, she probably did a little shifting of units while she was making out as well. Woo-hoo! Aren't I bad? All right, so next up on the list, top 10 worst hairband song titles. Number 5, Top of the Rock by Hager, Schoen, Aronson, and Shreve. Now, I don't know, what's Top of the Rock supposed to be? Is it like a tribute to like the little touristy area on top of Rockefeller Center? Rockefeller, by the way, Top of the Rock, which is what they actually literally call it, is probably one of the best views in Manhattan, because you can actually see, rather than going to Empire State Building, because if you go to Empire State Building and look out the city, you don't get to check out Empire State Building, which is one of the main things to look at in downtown Manhattan. And so going to Top of the Rock at Rockefeller Center is actually, many people think, is a better view, and it's a little less touristy and sort of, doesn't have that stain of mainstream levels of, every stupid ass tourist traipsing about there and trying to relive Sleepless in Seattle's and whatnot. So, But is that, I mean, how does that translate into like a theme of a song? Like, is it more like about the actual Top of the Rockefeller Center, Top of the Rock? Where, are they singing about it? And I haven't listened to it. I refuse to listen to it. Sammy Hagar is, it's almost like, for me, it's almost like getting a bee sting. It's such a revulsion. I need to get an EpiPen. But and Hagar shown is Sammy Hagar, Neil Schon, Aronson, who I don't know who Aronson is, to be honest with you, Michael Shreve, who's that unbelievable drummer who plays with Santana in Woodstock, the Woodstock movie. Unbelievable, uncanny drummer, which this is much later, probably about 5-7 years later. Something I don't remember exactly when. Hagar, Schon, Aronson, and Shreve. That really comes tripping off the tongue, doesn't it? What are they singing a song about? I took you to the top of the rock. You imagine Sammy Hagar just kind of like posing his way through as he sings, like actually doing the poses that, sort of like he would do in a video type of thing where he's mocking himself by himself to the microphone while he's doing an audio only recording. I took you to the top of the rock. Or is it just like some sort of euphemism about the Rock being his proboscis monkey, as it were, in full al dente, flapping in the wind there, on the verge of full priapism? I don't know, but it's stupid as hell. So it's getting to number 5 on my top 10 worst hairband song titles. Number 4 in that same category, She Goes Down by Motley Crue. Now, Motley Crue is not exactly what I would call a high-minded philosophical outfit. They aren't looking to try to, prove philosophical treatises, and high-minded thought, I think, never comes into the, the writing room where they're trying to, spitball ideas and do some blue skying about the next topic of what, the next Motley Crue. Should we write somewhere about drugs? Should we write about hoes? Bouncing around ideas into the Motley Crue think tank has got to be like a really high-minded affair. We just don't know what, could be more inspirational to a wider group of people than what Motley Crue comes up. I mean, there's always been high-minded goals and intellectual capacities have been reflected in every single one of the things they've ever done. And it continues on with our song number 4 on the top 10 worst of hairband list, She Goes Down. She goes down in, sort of LSAT scores to get admitted to a good law school. She goes down to LSAT scores. Will she get in Yale or will she need some more? I don't know. She Goes Down, okay, yeah, like, oh, wow. Motley Crue's really kicking it up a notch in terms of their intellectual content, aren't they? Number 10, top 10 worst hairband song titles. Number 3, Love Cries by Stage Dolls. Love Cries. It's a takeoff on Love Hurts, but they just didn't take a minute out to find out how stupid it sounded. Love cries, love hurts, love sucks, you suck, I suck, we suck. And they're just conjugating the verb suck at this point. Yeah, but conjugating verbs is so higher up on the intellectual food chain than what most of these songs, including this one, aspire towards, that, it's immediately disqualified. It couldn't possibly be that they're looking to do high-minded stuff intentionally. They're just sort of out there kind of just looking for titles that haven't been used yet, really, is what it seems like. It's like, they got Love Hurts. Can we do something that sounds like Love Hurts, but isn't Love Hurts? I don't know, dude. Maybe we can do Love, Pain, Love Pains. I'm like, no, it's close, though. It's just I'm thinking just this close, so close. How about Love Cries? Oh, now we're talking. Let's go into the studio. Love Cries. Eat Turds. Turd. Whatever. Number 3, Love Cries by Stage Dolls. Wow, what an incredibly inspired bit of crumpet that must be. Musical crumpet. Top 10 worst of list hairband song titles. Number 2, Heaven is a 4-letter word by Bad English. I don't even know where to start with this one. Heaven is a 4-letter word? In what dictionary? I must have missed that one. Because to me, last time I checked, it looks like a fountain along the lines of... I'd give it 7 letters here, but that's just a ballpark guess. A guesstimate, if you were. A 4-letter word. I mean, first of all, heaven... What are they saying that, heaven is like an F-bomb? How do you figure? Bad English? I mean, well, of course, the name of their band is Bad English, so maybe it's a little more autobiographical than, I might be giving you credit for. Certainly seems to be. Bad English includes bad spelling. Maybe it could be, the new name of the band if they ever get back together again. And we're bad spelling. Heaven's a 4-letter word. And next we come up, we've got dummy is a 2-letter word for our encore. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Heaven is a 4-letter word. Okay, even if you look past the obviously of just laughable, I don't know if it's a metaphor or what they're even shooting for in terms of calling heaven a 4-letter word, in terms of just the logistics of it. But certainly if you're comparing the idea of heaven and a 4-letter word, I mean, what's it, an S-bomb? F-bomb? I just don't see how heaven could be compared to something like that by anybody except somebody who's looking to, I don't know, glorify hell. Calling heaven a 4-letter word is, sounds like you're really trying to be, as evil as possible. Just saying, don't believe in goodness. Goodness is a 4-letter word too. If you're going to call heaven a 4-letter word, goodness. Kindness is a 4-letter word. Empathy is a 4-letter word. I mean, all these different types of feelings. If I think heaven is a 4-letter word, then all these other good things are all 4-letter words as well. What are the good words for you? Hell, I guess that, violence, self-mutilation. I mean, whatevs, clearly I'm reading too much into it, but they haven't read enough into it, to anybody to make sense out of that garbage. All right, top 10 worst hairbag song titles. Number 1, we made it to number 1. Oh my God, I can't believe I lived long enough to be able to deliver the goods and cash in on the big cheese for today's top 10 list. Number 1, by a band called The Darkness, Love is Only a Feeling. God damn the freaking clapper. Where's the WD-40? All right, so, yeah, love is only a feeling. Yeah, no, I agree. It is, but it's more than a feeling, isn't it? According to Boston. So, what is it? Is it only a feeling or more than a feeling? I don't know. I'm not sure that, I think these people need to get together and be able to square out exactly what love is. I want to know what love is. But if love is only a feeling, then what are we supposed to demean feelings? Like all feelings are supposed to be worthless? It's only a feeling. That means that feelings are only worthless. It's just a demeaning of the idea of feelings. So having feelings is bad. Having feelings is a 4-letter word. They should get together with Bad English. Maybe doing a tour, like a dual headlining tour. So anyway, there's this thing going around where people sort of are totally down, getting all hot and horny and wet at the tip for fighting amongst themselves and creating or giving themselves over to artificial boundaries that separate us into two different camps, which were normally referred to as right wing and left wing. I'm here to tell you, those are artificial constructs designed and implemented by people who are looking to take advantage of the dissension those artificial mandates have created. In other words, they got us fighting amongst ourselves so that we don't have time to be able to seek liberty from their oppressive boot heels being relentlessly smashed against our throats with spiked cleats. Spiked cleats that they borrowed, by the way, from Ty Cobb, the master of the rusty-ass death cleats from the early days of baseball. Once you've been cleated by Ty Cobb, you know that you've been cleated. Let me just say that. And also, I just want to let you know, and this is probably to a lesser extent than this sort of lightweight version of Top 10 Worst of Lists. I don't anticipate getting into too heavy subject matter here, but just want to let you know that I'm doing my best here to, to make the best of it and try to, be as informed as possible. And I'm creating all kinds of scattershot, random views of reality that I feel we've been misled about. But it's difficult. I mean, even something, and I've displayed this in some couple episodes, prior episodes of Top 10 Worst of Lists, and how difficult it is just to do a Google search when you've been blacklisted and shadow banned and flagged for precocious behavior by the powers that be. Literally, I'm coming to those who can see this, which are very, very few that will be allowed to see this. I am screaming from within the confines of what amounts to an electronic jail. So I'm a political prisoner, as it were. Maybe not necessarily singled out, but they don't really, at this point with the AI and everything like that. I mean, I looked at some of the previous, as a learning experience, and just because I love the sound of my mellifluous voice, we'll watch some of these episodes here and there, and I turned on the closed caption because it said it was available for this, even though I didn't do any closed caption or request to have it, that I know of, have it done, but it turned on the closed caption, and it's pretty goddamn freaking accurate. And I'm watching this, it has the whole script written out of what I've read, and I'm like, geez, that'd be great if I could get a transcript of this, number one, so I could, translate it to, save it in script form. But more importantly, it's like, if they can translate all this stuff to freaking closed caption without any involvement from whatsoever and get as accurate as they are, I mean, that's scary as hell. That means that all of their clandestine activities where they're listening to eavesdropping on us when our phones are on in the room, or even when our phones are off in the room, or we're not even on our phones, that they can have these scripts sort of, what we say sort of scripted out into transcripts. That means that they can analyze what's being said and compartmentalize and index it by subject matter or whatever they're looking for. And it sort of says some very concerning things about the nature of our captivity. That everything that we say is, everybody's got phones on them. And I don't care who you are, even like criminal masterminds have burner phones and stuff like that. And if they can eavesdrop basically with our phones, because we've seen them, I've seen them, I would gather that a lot of people who are really kind of paying attention has seen, like, they're either on their phone, and even maybe not on the phone where they just have the phone in the room while they're having a conversation, and then 20 minutes later on your social media, you see an advertisement for something that you were talking about when you weren't even having a phone conversation. And so these devices are eavesdropping on us all the time, and I can only imagine what, like, Alexas and smart coffee makers and stuff, and smart jock straps are able to do in terms of, like, being able to convey what we're talking about, even to the point where what we're thinking when we're scrolling online and what we're reading and what we're clicking on, everything like that, all processed from a big picture of everything that we are, that they are clearly indexing and using against us. Now, they'll only show little dribs and drabs of it that, that suit them for capitalizing on materialistic goals and agenda items. But, there's got to be more to it than that. I'm thinking that they use all of these experiences, things like all these things that we talk about, all these things we click about, all these things we write about in our emails, everything like that, everybody we talk to, all the bank account activity, all assimilated into the grid, as it were. Excuse me, and they can create. AI is powerful enough to be able to create like artificial everything, not just videos and things like that, but artificial news stories. We're scrolling through in real time. We see something, that we talk about, or even I think we're thinking about. Because NPR has had stories where they've actually mastered mind reading software. And there was something weird about it. I mean, just listening to it and going well, you have to either think of a key word, and it turns on the mind reading software. When you think of a word, there's like a trigger word, a safe word, or whatever you want to call it, that you think about. And I chose, I don't know that they'll ever get to ask me, but I want my chosen word to be banana hammock. But if they can do the mind reading stuff, which I remember seeing a story about this about 10 years ago. It was one single story, and I tried to do a Google search on it to try to find that story again about 5-6 years later. Could not find it. So I do believe that the mind-reading software is here and is being used. Really, if they're talking about it on NPR, that means it's been around for about 20 years. We are about it's between 10 and 20-year lag time by the time something comes up and gets implemented and distributed on the clandestine services and all those, Big Brother types, and before we find out about what's really going on. So that we're always in a perpetual lag time so that we don't, formulate some sort of defense against the mechanisms they're using against us. And if they can read our minds and everything like that, and they can sort of pick and do this in real time, and they're, they have maybe nano drones or who knows what sneaking around, spying on us, or maybe our phones or whatever it might be, but they know that they can clue in on something that we're thinking about that turns the mind reading software on, and they can translate everything into like the types of scripts that I've been seeing of top 10 worst of episode closed captioning. I mean, their power is God. Really, it's not even God-like. It's God power, omnipresent, or Santa Claus power. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been better good to goodness sake. Right? I mean, Santa Claus knows what we're thinking too. And I don't know what you believe in. I mean, Santa Claus seems like, probably more likely than the existence of God, the way it's been described to me. No, I'm just kidding. But the fact is that, these are the only two powers that we know of that have the level of capabilities of our captors. Now our captors can read our minds. They can follow our clicks. They can do everything. They can translate our conversations into scripts that can be saved by category and indexed and searched, or, even something that's beyond anything that we've ever really kind of conceptualized. It's the Donald Rumsfeld, what do they call it? We have the known knowns, we have the unknown knowns, and the unknown unknowns. It's the unknown unknowns that we're faced with. Now that they already have, they could cut everybody probably and get away with having just a few computers to be able to track all of our activities now at this point. Information we should have known the minute they created the Information Awareness Office, which was the division of government that started the grid. And the person that they chose, and this is back in the neocon era of the Bush Jr., sort of beard. Bush Jr. was the beard for Bush Sr. to have another couple of terms in office, basically. But the person that they did put in charge, of the Information Awareness Office was none other than Admiral Poindexter. And you don't need me to tell you who Admiral Poindexter is. Of course, you're so well informed and so full of yourself that you couldn't possibly need any sort of assistance in trying to figure out where the hell all this anxiety and horror or terrorist activities by our own government are coming from, right? You don't need me to tell you who Admiral Poindexter is. All right, I'll tell you. It's the guy from Iran-Contra. He's one of the guys that Bush Sr. pardoned, who, sort of is thought of to have committed a bunch of high-level treasonous activities as part of the Iran-Contra thing. We're selling illegal arms to Nicaraguan rebels and selling crack on the streets of the cities of the United States to raise money to buy weapons that the Israelis then sold to the Iranians under the table, even though during the time they were both declaring that they wanted to liquefy each other. And then we took the profit from the sale of the arms to Iran and used that to buy weapons illegally for the Contra rebels and try to overthrow the Sandinistas in Nicaragua. And so, and Admiral Poindexter, that's the guy. You create a division of government designed specifically to spy on everything that we do and to collectivize all of that into a indexable file called, the grid, basically, so that they could, have us 9 ways to Sunday, know absolutely every single thing that we do, people that we talk to, people we're friends with, content of our emails, how many people we're having affairs with, who we're having affairs with, what we do that's out of the ordinary, what type of porno genre that turns us on the most, what type of thing that we, scroll on, that we click on, that we spend on, all of those things collected under one digital indexable file was started by the Information Awareness Office, and they put a known criminal to be in charge of that. I mean, that's how bold these guys are, and how much they couldn't care less. And this is all public stuff. It's all public stuff. Go look it up, you stupid rotten piece of garbage. You want me to do all the work for you? Yes. Please, sir, could you do all the work? So I got a whole laundry list of unwatched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt episodes in my queue. Yeah, my queue. Sounded like Johnny Carson there for a little bit. And Funkin' Wagnall's porch. It's so hot that he had something with hot soup. All right, so so anyway, here's the drill. Top 10 worst of. I'm not responsible for any of the things that I'm talking about. It's all opinions, okay? So whatever. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get you to believe what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to fact check for yourself. Get up off your lazy, stinking ass with all the stink lines emanating from it every time you get up off the couch groove, and try and earn your birthright. At this point, you don't deserve it. At this point, you probably won't have much time to be able to get it. This thing has gotten so out of control that there's an impossible way that we'll find any way out from underneath the grip, the yoke of our oppressors, as it were. And number 2, I'm not out to get you. I'm on my last legs. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to continue to do these episodes or how much I'll be able to do anything, really. I've got physical problems up the yin-yang, and I'm at the end of my rope. I've been doing this for 30 years. I deserve some time off and just to do, I don't know what else I want to do. I'd love to be able to do music. I just physically can't right now. While I'm trying to wait and see if I can heal up or turn the trajectory of the downward spiral that my body is in, I'm occupying it by doing this and trying to have a little fun. So I'm not out to get you. I'm not out to, I'd love to change the world. This is a country, people, everything that I've loved in my life has come in this country, and I see my country's in trouble. The place that I love, the place that I live, my home, it's in trouble. It's desperate. And I'm doing what I can to help. Of course I am. Like any sort of really caring person would. And, it's a real goddamn shame that I'm shadow banned up the yin-yang the way I am, the way I've been treated, with limiting of the organic distribution of my thoughts, ideas, and attempted creative output. And I've tried everything. I swear to God, I've tried everything for 30 freaking years, giving everything I possibly can. And every single time they block me, they do warrantless searches and invasions in my abode. They slather a bunch of weird grease on the inside door handles, and I've been chronically ill ever since. I mean, I'm getting the whole 9 yards. I've show up to work and doing Patriot Act style interviews where they're not allowed to tell me about it and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's been menacing. Just for speaking my mind, I never advocated any bad things in my life. I just want people to be aware. I want people to activate. I want people to rebel peacefully and with a revolution that I feel is nonviolent. It's just based on empowering what's good in people, making it too strong intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, philosophically to dominate by these horrific monsters. And they're such cheats and such cowards that they won't even let anybody who has anything opposing to their worldview to duke it out in the open. They just marginalize people and cheat and use their positions of power to be able to manipulate things so that they never have to, justify who they are or what they are. And they know that they can't because they are the embodiment of cowards. They're sick. It's not, anything that's a philosophical thing. It's a sickness. And it's, just a misanthropy type of thing where they just hate being alive. They're forged in darkness. They strive towards more darkness. That's all that they live their lives for. And it's a shame because it's really kind of part of the yin and yang of life, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people think if there's a God, why does he allow bad things happen to good people? Well, I thought about that for a long time. I felt like, there's something to this. There's going to be sort of a key if I can figure this out for myself. And I did. I thought, and I finally figured it out. It's like, that's how good people become good people, by confronting and overcoming adversity. It's those road bumps that we traverse and we learn lessons and become stronger from within. That makes us stronger, and then we can utilize that strength and those experiences to be able to help and guide and nurture those in our lives worth caring for. And that's what life's all about. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner you'll be able to, kick all those materialistic ambitions to the curb. It doesn't help anybody. We're not, if we transcend into some other life form or heaven or heck, hell, or whatever it is that we might do or might not do, I don't know. But we're certainly not taking our freaking Maseratis and our Lamborghinis and our collectible Mickey Mantle rookie cards with us to wherever the next place is. All that stuff gets left behind. If there is anything that comes with us, it's something that's imprinted into our soul by overcoming adversity, becoming strong within, and overcoming these tests. They're tests. These are, it's almost as if that's what life's all about. It's all about overcoming these obstacles and gathering. I don't know. It's like, I don't know some of these games out of Dungeons, Dragons, stuff like that, but when you overcome challenges and something like that, do you get power points or something? Like in video games, do you get an extra life or something? I think that's what real life is. It's sort of like you get power points for overcoming obstacles, like Mario. In Super Mario, where you bump your head against a coin and you get an extra 200 points or whatever it is, or you bump enough things and mushrooms and stuff, I don't know, you get an extra life, or you get extra powers, or you can jump further and higher. Like Pac-Man is got, where you eat the bullet, the certain mushroomy, whatever it is, the thing, and you can eat the ghosts. Well, that's what life is. You eat something which is an obstacle, which is adversity, and you get through that, and then you can eat ghosts. No big whoop. And if that's true, then those who create the obstacles in this world are a part of the cycle, part of the yin and yang. Because if the evildoers didn't exist, the obstacles wouldn't be there. We'd all have a much easier go of it in life, and we'd just be kind of sail through, and then at the end of it, it'd be just like, well, that was kind of meh. But no, but if you live a life full of challenges and risk and rewards, and you sacrifice yourself and you give to others and all that kind of thing, that's a life well lived. And in a weird way, we have the evildoers to thank because they create all the mess in the world that embodies these self-same obstacles. So it becomes difficult to cast aspersions against, what we perceive as evildoers or the jerk-offs of this world, because it seems like the only thing that brings them joy in life is to see good people suffer. And if it's as simple as that, then, why should we begrudge the evildoers what they're born with in terms of the mechanism that creates joy within them? It's not for us to say. And I know that sounds weird, and I'm not talking about excusing, obviously, the evildoers and the murderers and everything like that, and the Oprah's Book Club. I'm not excusing all of the things, the evil that they do. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, this is reality. What we're looking at is that, if these evildoers didn't exist, we'd be a bunch of greedy, selfish brats. And it's like looking in the mirror in terms of like personality elements, where things are opposite, not just like looking at it backwards or left is right and right is left. And you look into the mirror and it's really Harpo Marx dressed up to look like you, and you're going like, and Harpo's going, and you're like, oh, okay, this is hilarious. And I'm talking about the soul, where, like what makes good people happy is seeing good people happy. So what makes bad people happy, or what we consider to be bad people, or evildoers, people who seek to, be buzzkills and all that kind of thing, and just impose their toxicity on others around them. When they see any signs of vitality, they're like, oh, here's a good target. Let's zero in on this jerk off. And they go in and they zero in on that jerk off. And it's like, oh, now your day sucks. That makes me feel good. Top 10 worst hairband song. Did we do the commercial? I don't think we did the commercials yet. So before, actually, 27-minute, 30-second long. Anyway, that's all the time we've got for Top 10 Worst Stuff. Talk about feelings. What a feeling it's been to be able to bring you this list and bring it in what I thought was going to be about 10-minute long list in 45 minutes. That's regrettable. But hey, I'm doing everything I possibly can to make these things rewarding for all of us and entertaining and fun, and just a circle like a diversion while you're waiting for the death squads of AI cybernetic robots to come and haul us all off to death camps in South America. Tune in again next time for tomorrow. In fact, for another edition of Top 10 Worst of Lists, when our worst of list includes the topic, Top 10 Worst Times to Guzzle Industrial Strength Drain Cleaner. You don't want to miss a minute of that. Sounds like a rewarding experience. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. We've got one last thing to tell you about.